Hi, hello, happy Sabbath and Shabbat Shalom. Since it's been a while, I thought I'd come in and notify everybody of what Mom's African violets are doing. Sorry that it doesn't focus very well. So she's been having pretty good success at the time on these little critters that are kind of finicky. Not all of them are doing too well. I don't think that one's going to make it. But for the most part, she's been doing pretty well. And then the Amaryllis, they seem to be doing pretty happy over here. And this one here is apparently going to be white. And obviously it's got two separate flower stems. So we're having some flowering success over here. Over here, I've been working with my pickling, which I know this doesn't look like pickled cucumbers, but it is, technically. I got jars clean over there to put it in. I still haven't bottled up my tomatoes, and I'm collecting and condensing down this gel, the cucumber, for Mom's anti-itch stuff. And I spent a whole bunch of money on these canning lids. I got 36, I think, 34 or 36 bundles of those. There's some of them over here. And then pretty much that's just corn juice I'm going to give to the babies from dinner, because a couple of them will drink that. Alright, now coming out here, just give you a quick overview of what's going on in the greenhouse. All the stuff in this corner still seems to be pretty much alive. Mom got this really fancy little highly variegated wandering Jew. It's much more decorative, but it's a lot more spindly than the normal wandering Jew we have around here. And some of her cacti are doing really well, especially as the temperature's cooled off. She got some kind of little cacti here I didn't see before. Really cute little critter. Looks like a bunch of sea urchins or something. So some of this too is a cactus. One of our friends up in Bolivar has one of these. So she's having some success with some of these cactus, and not so much success with others of these cactus. And then those, whatever these plants are that have little babies off their leaves. The older mother-in-law tongues are starting to put on new babies. So they're starting to recover from the frost damage they experienced. It's hard to tell how many of the various no, my brain went dead. Aloe veras are going to make it. Some are doing better than others. She also got a different variety of mother-in-law's tongue here called San Serena, I think. She got another similar plant that I think might be part of the Alphaneer plant form, but I'm not sure. Pink Princess, Philodendron, okay. And then she got this, just a geranium, orange geranium. And she's been mixing up her own custom soil here, including some stuff she got for African violet and cactus over there. I'm not sure how much of that was added into this or how much of it wasn't. Over here, all these over here are pretty much doing pretty decently. All my spindly pears are doing well. There's some more aloe vera up here. To varying extents of survival or not. I can't even see them here even on the screen because I got too much overhead light to wash out what I'm trying to look at. I moved my pecan tree in for the winter, even if it sprouts. I want it inside because I don't want to put it in the ground yet because I don't know where I want it. But I also don't want the roots to freeze because that'll kill it. That potato plant down here has started to bear some tubers. Maybe not a lot, but some, little tuberlets in here. So maybe it'll produce some fruit tubers. And here, this thing was looking dead for a while, but it's putting on new growth. So it's probably just as this one is putting on new growth too. So they probably just wanted to cycle through some leaves and get fresh growth on. I think we got another one of them last remaining volunteer elephant garlics in there, and then these little stranded, stranded because they look like strands of onion are still alive but not doing anything. I'm not for sure if this is alive or not. It's got questionable. Then in here, these, I think it's 21 containers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Is that right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 21. Yes. Each of those have a little tuber in them, a little potato. Some of them already had sprouts on them. They were from outside. I brought them in here because I knew it'd be cool over the winter, but not freezing cold. Oh, look, there's a camera. A hammer back in there. I'll just have to set that where it needs to be. Some of it probably fell off somewhere. People didn't notice it. Anyhow, so I put them in here so that I can water them now and then, because like I water these. These are coming back pretty well, considering how frozen off they were and how much hard, dry weather they've gone through. They're pretty rugged plants. I don't think that one is growing very aggressively at the moment, but it ain't dying completely yet, so I don't know if it's recoverable or not. Of course, these normal wandering Jews are just cascading down the mountainsides like they could cover the world if they were out in the open. The only problem is come winter time like this, they'd all end up freezing to death. So it has a lot to do with the moisture, the nutrients in the ground, and the kind of soil they're in. These right here are breakage pieces that were looking pretty near dead, and I just spritzed some water in there and they've recovered fairly lively for just being broken pieces. And then, the thing is, I don't know if some are thin because of nutrients or they're thin because of genetics. I do not know. All of the avocados, except my one living seed, I call it a living seed. I moved it up here so it'd get more light. The living seed is literally just a half of a seed with a root. It's still green, it's still alive, so I'm leaving it there. The other half did curl up and die finally, because there was the other half of that seed that was trying to do the same thing. What happened apparently is the upper part got broken off, but the lower part didn't care. It just kept trying to grow anyhow, and so it grew, but it didn't grow very big. So obviously this big cactus has got some new flowers on it that are, well, I've mentioned before. It's one of those little vines she has. I keep thinking I know what they are. This one's not that variegated. Yeah, it's got fairly smooth unvariegated leaves on it, which is a little different than this one with its variegated leaves. I don't know what these things are, but it's a succulent, obviously. It's still there doing whatever it's doing, I guess. And I'm going to put a little dirt over that because it looks like roots. Anyhow, because I don't think roots should always be exposed to the air, certainly when they're not tiny and tender like that. She was going to repot this little, I can't remember anything. It's some form of palm, that's it. It's a member of the palm family. I can't remember anything. Anyhow, let me put my shoes on and show you what little has actually gone on. Because really not a whole lot physically changed this week. It's been a bad week for me in some ways. So all these babies here are the same place you would have seen them, but we had to make a decision to move one, and the way we did it, we ended up moving two in the process. I don't know if we can see them from here, but there are two in this field now. Let me see if we can go around the outside and see them. Let's see if the boys jumped over the fence yet to get to them, which would kind of defeat the whole purpose, but wouldn't surprise me any. While we're heading that direction, since it's right there, I'll point out this is where those spuds were when I dug them out, and the extra soil's over there. So I got them out, and 21 of them in those pots I showed you, and most of them are fairly small. But if they live and grow, great. And then that sage probably still needs to be brought inside. Just haven't gotten around to it. And as the weather starts to get worse, I'm going to have to get around to it. Over here, I had to re-add a water tub over here. Hope all the babies are where I needed them to be and haven't moved to where I don't need them to be. I don't see them. Well, let's get in here and look. I don't see either the mama or the baby. So they may not be out here after all. They may have found a way to somewhere I don't need them to be. Because I don't see them in the field. And, yeah, I don't see them in this field. They may have gotten somehow back over. Yeah, they did. They got back through. Oh, I see where they got through. I see. Okay, now I know what went happen. I'll have to do this again, only I'll have to do it a different way. I see where they got through, is right here. They could have come and gone out of here any time. I just didn't realize it. See, that gap right there is where they got through. And I know why, because that gap wasn't there until that wall fell over, because I never finished building it. So I have only myself to blame. I'll just have to run them back in here, because the little one's sick, and I need to have him segregated, both because of the fact he's contagious and because of the fact that I need to have medication in a way that flowing water won't work. In other words, if I put medication in the water and it's a flowing water, it'll just flush all the medication out and you won't get anywhere. Haven't done anything else with the well pad. Haven't picked up very much more iron ore, that little patch I picked up the other day. So I gotta go and back in here and tomorrow and put that back together and fix that problem. It doesn't surprise me that I would accidentally overlook something like that. In here, I have the water looks milky because of the medication in it. That's pretty much the reason that looks cloudy, is because of the fact it's got valbazin in it and LA300, and it's got ivermectin and Corid. My memory's so bad I can't remember what I've done. And it might have something else, but I'm not for sure. We had a possum show up the other night, so I've got to set my trap out again. Trap was buried partway under this hay bale, not so much by intention as the fact that that hay bale had collapsed and fallen over. But now that the hay bale is all used up, I'm on the next hay bale. I expect to get quite good mileage, good mileage out of this hay. It almost took me, I think, 2 months to use up one hay bale, so that means I might have very near 2 years worth of hay here. I would hope. Although one bale's not as big as the others. Unfortunately, due to the fact that I was not using the right things, I ended up killing my last tomato. And the reason was that I didn't get around to getting an internally regulated, thermostatically regulated my brain went dead. didn't get a thermostatically regulated heater. I just put a heat gun in there. And even though it wasn't directly aimed at the plant, it just ran and ran and ran and ran and get hot and dry and dehydrated the thing. I have since fixed a small heater, but it's pointless now. The plant's dead. Now in the future, if I build a greenhouse system out here, like I still plan on doing, it will matter. Fortunately, because of this gap, I can bring that in far enough that they'll all be up in here, and I can fit that many tubs in this if I want to use tubs as modular systems. I'll just have to figure out how to get them in and out with a wall on there. I maybe have to have the wall where it drops in and out of slots in angle iron. These things seem to be handling the freezing weather decent. There's a little bit of what I call freeze blight, frost blight on them. They're not absolutely completely unfreezable, but they're pretty tough little critters, all things considered. Same with the yarrow. The yarrow is handling the cold weather at night fairly decently. So are some of these other, I think they're spring, winter vegetables. They might even be edible. Same over here. I think I've seen purslane and a couple others in here with the strawberries. And the strawberries are cycling out old growth for new growth. Need more soil. See chestnuts back over in that field where I didn't care for her to be either field. I just needed the little boy over there in that field where he'd be forced to drink medicated water. He'd be on clean ground so he wouldn't reinfect as fast as he ate. So I'll just have to get him back in there and in the process close that gap in the fence that he and her both got through before I realized what had gone wrong, which is my fault. I expect it. It's my job to fix the problem. And the only other thing I got done around here was that I got one more stud pulled off of this exhaust system over here, bringing me to 5 loose studs and one that's still in there. And again, if they weren't old, nasty, rusty, bent, randomly manufactured by different companies and deformed, I'd have just done like the guy said, take the nuts off, put them back on. But because of the fact that they are, all that I can tell of them are bent and deformed in some way or another, and they're just really beat up old studs, I'm just going to try to get in there and get that last one off, change out the 10.5 millimeter ones for 3/8 18 and carry on from there. Spacing inside there won't be any different. These little rings won't be any different. Just the fact that it's 3/8 or 10.5 millimeter, which really won't matter because you could just about put a 7/16 or a ½ inch in there and it'd be fine. But I don't know if you can get those, and I don't know what thread pitch the threads of the what do you call it, inside the manifold are if you pull the helicoils out. I could try it, but you know, why buy some extra weird ones if I can get common ones? And besides, if they ever break off the way they are, I can just drill them out again and not worry about damaging the cast iron. I just put in a new helicoil. So it kind of makes it a long-term reserviceable thing, because I don't, you know, helicoils ain't cheap, don't get me wrong. They aren't cheap. But compared to having to drill and tap and start over or get a bolt stuck in there, it's still a better option. See down in there, you can see all the bubbly crust from the, but there's a helicoil right there, shiny in there. It's wanting to unzoom itself. Wonder what that's all about. Let me see, I can't even get to it from there. I can only get to the one, I think. Let me see here. Not that it's all that important. Yeah, I can't get it that one to focus. Anyhow, all of them have the same thing. They're all drilled and helicoiled, all 6 of them. So the only thing going for me is because they remain standardized, I don't have to have a hodgepodge of different studs in there, which could be a real booger in some cases. Especially if somebody came along like I did and ordered a whole kit and found out they're the wrong ones, or even if some of them were the wrong ones. Anyway, that is pretty much the sum of everything. I haven't done anything more yet on my little shed this week. Mostly because of the fact that it's been cold and I've been making this thing a priority because I need to get it running soon enough to get feed once it's running. And then it's a little warmer, I'll get back over there and finish that shed. I got to get a little bit of sheet metal. The other side is I've been trying to ponder exactly the best way to do it, and I think I've got the plan down finally in my mind. It's only a couple more pieces on the outside, and I got to put a strut on the inside, which will be one of these oak pieces here. And then when that's all done, I'll be able to get up on the top of it and fasten it all down, because I got to have that spanner to hold my weight so I don't fall through it. So that's the long and the short of pretty much anything, because I didn't get anything done in the shop at all. There wasn't nothing to do at this moment. It's not, well, that's not true. There's all sorts of things to do, but I'm just not going to add another project until I get these done. So I'm going to call that it for now, and hope y'all have a wonderful, blessed Sabbath, and we will try to get you some more information next week. Shalom for now.